A group of jolly cowboys discussing plans at ease. Says one, I'll tell you something, boys, if you will listen, please. I am an old cowpuncher, and here I'm dressed in rags. I used to be a tough one and go on great big jags. But I have got a home, boys, a good one you all know. Although I have not seen it since long, long ago. I'm going back to Dixie once more to see them all. I'm going to see my mother when the work's all done this fall. After the roundup's over and after the shipping's done, I'm going right straight home, boys, ere all my money's gone. Well, I have changed my ways, boys, no more will I fall. And I am going home, boys, when the work's all done this fall. Well, when I left my home, boys, my mother for me cried, begged me not to go, boys, for me she would have died. My mother's heart is breaking, breaking for me, that's all. And with God's help I'll see her when the work's all done this fall. That very night this cowboy went out to stand his guard. The night was dark and cloudy and storming very hard. The cattle, they got frightened and rushed in wild stampede. The cowboy tried to head them, riding at full speed. While riding in the darkness, so loudly did he shout, trying his best to head them and turn the herd about. His saddle horse did stumble and on him did fall. The boy won't see his mother when the work's all done this fall. His body was so mangled, the boys all thought him dead. They picked him up so gently and laid him on a bed. He opened wide his blue eyes and looking all around, he motioned to his comrades to sit near on the ground. Well, send my mother my wages, the wages I have earned, for I am afraid, boys, my last year I have turned. I'm going to a new range, I hear my master's call, and I'll not see my mother when the work's all done this fall. Bill, you may have my saddle, George, you may take my bed, Jack may have my pistol after I am dead. Boys, think of me kindly when you look upon them all, for I'll not see my mother when the work's all done this fall. Poor Charlie was buried at sunrise, no tombstone at his head, nothing but a little board, and this is what it said. Charlie died at daybreak, he died from a fall. The boy won't see his mother when the work's all done this fall. All day on the prairie in the saddle I ride, not even a dog, boys, to trot by my side. My fire I must kindle with chips gathered round, and boil my own coffee without being ground. I wash in the pool and I sleep on a sack, I carry my wardrobe all on my back. For want of an oven I cook bread in a pot, and sleep on the ground for want of a cot. My ceiling is the sky, my floor is the grass, my music is the lowing of herds as they pass. My books are the brooks, my sermons the stones, my parson is a wolf on his pulpit of bones. And then if my cooking's not very complete, you can't blame me for wanting wanting to eat. But show me a man who sleeps more profound than the big puncher boy who sleeps on the ground. My books teach me ever consistence to prize, my sermons that small things I should not despise. My parson remarks from his pulpit of bones that fortune favors those who look out for their own. Between me and love lies a gulf very wide. Some lucky fellow may call her his bride. My friends gently hint I am coming to grief, but men must make money and women have beef. Why it is I can ne'er understand, for each of the patriarchs owned a big brand. Abraham emigrated in search of a range. When water was scarce, he wanted a change. Old Isaac owned cattle in charge of Esau, and Jacob punched cows for his father-in-law. Oh, Molly, dear Molly, 'tis for your sake alone that I'd leave my old parents, my house and my home, that I'd leave my old parents. You caused me to roam. I'm a poor rebel soldier and Dixie's my home. Jack of diamonds, I know you of old, you've robbed my poor pockets of silver and gold. Oh, whiskey, you villain, you've been my downfall. You've kicked me, you've cuffed me, but I love you for all. Her parents don't like me, they say I'm too poor. They say I'm unworthy to enter her door. They say I drink whiskey, but my money's my own, and them that don't like me can leave me alone. Jack of diamonds, I know you of old, you've robbed my poor pockets of silver and gold. Oh, whiskey, you villain, you've been my downfall. You've kicked me, you've cuffed me, but I love you for all. I'll build me a castle on yon mountain high, where my true love can see me when she comes riding by. Where my true love can see me and help me to mourn. I'm a poor rebel soldier and Dixie's my home. Jack of diamonds, I know you of old, you've robbed my poor pockets of silver and gold. Oh, whiskey, you villain, you've been my downfall. You've kicked me, you've cuffed me, but I love you for all. And now, my friends, you ask me what makes me sad and still, and why my brow is darkened like clouds upon the hill. Run in your pony closer and I'll tell you all the tale of Utah Corral, my partner, and his last ride on the trail. Mid the cactus and the mesquite of Mexico's fair land, where the cattle roam in thousands, many a herd and many a brand, there's a grave with neither headstone, neither date nor name. There lies my partner sleeping in the land from which I came. We rode the range together and rode it side by side. I loved him as a brother, I wept when Utah died. We were rounding up one morning, our work was almost done, when away the cattle started on a mad and fearful run. The boss's little daughter was holding on that side. She started in to turn them, that's where my partner died. She used a saddle blanket, given her by a friend. It was this bright red blanket brought Utah to his end. As Varro rushed her pony at the cattle on the right, the blanket slipped beneath her and cut the stirrup tight. When the cowboys saw the blanket, they all held their breath. If now should the pony fail her, none could save her from her death. When Varro saw the cattle, she turned her pony's face. She leaned from out her saddle, tied the blanket in its place. But in leaning lost her blanket, fell in front of that wild tide. Lie still, Varro, I'm coming, were the words my partner cried. About 15 yards behind her, Utah come riding fast. Though he never saw that moment, the ride would be his last. His pony reached Varro with firm and steady bound. He swung from out the saddle to catch her from the ground. But the cinches of his saddle had not been felt before, and his back cinch snapped asunder, and he fell beside Varro. He now picked up the blanket and swung it o'er his head, and started across the prairie. Lie still, Varro, he said. His 6-gun flashed like lightning, the report rang loud and clear. As the cattle rushed to kill him, he dropped the leading steer. And when we broke the circle where Utah's body lay, with many a wound and bruise, his young life had ebbed away. And in some future morning I heard the preacher say, I hope we'll all meet Utah at the roundup far away. Then we wrapped him in a blanket, set him by his little friend, and 'twas that very blanket that brought Utah to his end. Come all you young cowboys, I'll sing you a song. Stand back from the wagon, stay where you belong. I hear you observing I'm fussy and slow, but while you're punching cattle, I'm punching the dough. Now you think you're right handy with gun and with rope, but I notice you're bashful when using the soap. When you're rolling your bowl for your brown cigarette, I'm rolling the dough for the biscuits you get. When you're cutting the stock, then I'm cutting a steak. When you're wrangling horses, I'm wrangling a cake. When you're hazing your dogies and batting your eyes, I'm hazing dried apples that aim to be pies. In the old days, the punchers took just what they got. It was sow belly beans and the old coffee pot. But now you come howling for pie and for cake, then cuss at the cook for a good belly ache. You say that I'm old with my feet on the skids. Well, I'm telling you now that you're nothing but kids. If you reckon your mounts are some snaky and raw, just try riding herd on a stove that won't draw. No use of your snorting and fighting your head. If you like it with chili, take just what I said. For I aims to be boss of this end of the show. When you're punching cattle, I'm punching the dough. this valley they say you are going. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile, for they say you are taking the sunshine that brightens our pathway the while. Come sit here a while ere you leave us. Do not hasten to bid us adieu. Just remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loves you so true. I have promised you, darling, that never will the words from my lips cause you pain, and my life, it will be yours forever if you only will love me again. Come sit here a while ere you leave us. Do not hasten to bid us adieu. Just remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loves you so true. There never could be such a longing in the heart of a poor cowboy's breast as dwells in the heart you are breaking as I wait in my home in the West. Come sit here a while ere you leave us. Do not hasten to bid us adieu. Just remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loves you so true. There's a little gal a-livin' in a shanty on a claim. She's holding down a homestead all alone. I'm going up to see her when the work's all done this fall. I'm gonna take her up my gentle Roan. So hump along, you doggies, I ain't got long to wait. I'm drifting for the sand hills pretty soon. I'll draw my pay tomorrow when the old man comes along. I'll be riding for the river by the moon. I'm gonna take her riding along a sunset trail. I'm gonna sing to her a little song. I'll tell her that I love her if she'll hold her horse a spell. I want to see that nothing does her wrong. So hump along, you doggies, I ain't got long to wait. I'm drifting from the sand hills pretty soon. I'll draw my pay tomorrow when the old man comes along. I'll be riding for the river by the moon. Where the Rio Grande's a-spreadin' between the willows growing green, I sure would love to have a happy home. No no more drifting cowboy, I'd quit the long, long trails. I'd promise her I never more would roam. So hump along, you doggies, I ain't got long to wait. I'm drifting for the sandhills pretty soon. I'll draw my pay tomorrow when the old man comes along. I'll be riding for the river by the moon. I'd take her little hand and drift down the trail of life. There's nothing as would please this cowboy more. So I'm heading for the river as soon as I get paid. I hope that gal's a-waiting by the shore. So hump along, you doggies, I ain't got long to wait. I'm a-drifting from the sandhills pretty soon. I'll draw my pay tomorrow when the old man comes along. I'll be riding for the river by the moon. Say, pal, have you sighted a schooner alongside of the Santa Fe Trail? They made it here Monday or sooner with a water keg tied on the tail. There was Daddy and Ma on the mule seat, and somewhere along by the way was a tow-headed gal on a pinto, just a-jangling for old Santa Fe. Yo-ho, yo-ho, just a-jangling for old Santa Fe. Yo-ho, yo-ho, just a-jangling for old Santa Fe. I seen her ride down the Arroyo, way back on the Arkansas sands. She had a smile like an acre of sunflowers and a quirt in her little brown hand. She mounted her pinto so airy, she rode like she carried the mail, and her eyes near set fire to the prairie alongside the Santa Fe Trail. Yo-ho, yo-ho, alongside of the Santa Fe Trail. Yo-ho, yo-ho, alongside of the Santa Fe Trail. I know a gal down on the border that I'd ride to El Paso to sight. I'm acquainted with the high-flying orders, and I sometimes kiss some gals goodnight. But Lord, they're all fluffles and beadin' and drink afternoon tea by the pail. I'm not used to that sort of stampedin' alongside of the Santa Fe Trail. Yo-ho, yo-ho, alongside of the Santa Fe Trail. Yo-ho, yo-ho, alongside of the Santa Fe Trail. Now I don't know her name on the prairie, for when you're hunting one gal it's some wide, and it's shorter from hell to Hilarity than it is on that Santa Fe ride. So I'll try to make plumbers by sundown, where a camp can be made in the swale. Then I'll come on that gal with her pinto, she'll be camped by the Santa Fe Trail. Yo-ho, yo-ho, she'll be camped by the Santa Fe Trail. Yo-ho, yo-ho, she'll be camped by the Santa Fe Trail. from the bummer shore, the good old golden days. They call me a bummer and a gin sot too, but what cares I for praise? I've rambled round all over town just like a roving sign, and the people all say there goes Tom Moore in the days of '49. My comrades, they all loved me well, that jolly saucy crew. A few hard cases I will admit, but they were brave and true. Whate'er the pinch, they ne'er would flinch, they never would fret nor whine. Like good old bricks, they stood the kicks in the days of '49. There's old Aunt Jess, that hard old cuss, who never would repent. He never missed a single meal, nor never paid a cent. But old Aunt Jess, like all the rest, at death he did resign, and in his bloom he went up the flume in the days of '49. There was New York Jake, the butcher boy, who was fond of getting tight, and every time he got on a spree, he was spoiling for a fight. One night Jake jumped against a knife in the hands of old Doc Sign, and over Jake we held a wake in the days of '49. Of all the comrades that I've had, there's none that's left to boast, and I'm alone in my misery like some poor wandering ghost. And as I pass from town to town, they call me the Rambling Sign. Since the days of old when we dug out the gold, in the days of '49. Well, I was laying round town just a-spending my time, out of a job and not making a dime, when a feller steps up and he says, I suppose you're a bronc riding man by the looks of your clothes. You guessed me just right, I'm a good one I claims. Do you happen to have any bad ones to tame? He says that he has, and a bad one to buck, and for throwing good riders he's had lots of luck. Well, it's oh, that strawberry roan, oh, that strawberry roan. They say he's a cayuse that's never been rode. The man that gets on him is bound to be through. Get off that strawberry roan. Well, I gets all excited and I asks what he pays to ride this old pony for a couple of days. He offers a 10-spot, says I'm your man, for a bronc never lived that I couldn't fan. Well, he says, get your saddle and I'll give you a chance. So I gets in the buckboard, we drives to the ranch. I stays until morning, and right after chuck, I steps out to see if this outlaw can buck. Well, it's oh, that strawberry roan, oh, that strawberry roan. They say he's a cayuse that's never been rode. The man that gets on him is bound to be through. Get off that strawberry roan. Down in the corral, standing alone, is this old caballo, a strawberry roan. His legs is all spavined, he has pigeon toes, 2 little pig eyes and a big Roman nose, little pin ears that touched at the tip, and a big 44 run on his left hip. He's ewe-necked and old with a long lower jaw. I could see with one eye he was a regular outlaw. Well, it's oh, that strawberry roan, oh, that strawberry roan. They say he's a cayuse that's never been rode. The man that gets on him is bound to be through. Get off that strawberry roan. I buckle on my spurs, I'm sure feeling fine. I picks up my hat and curls up my twine. I piles my rope on him, and well I know then that afore I get rode I've sure earned my 10. I gets the blinds on him, it sure is a fight. Next comes my old saddle and I screws her on tight. Then I steps unto him and raises the blinds. I'm right in his middle to see him unwind. Well, it's oh, that strawberry roan. Oh, that strawberry roan. They say he's a cayuse that's never been rode. The man that gets on him is bound to be throwed. Get off that strawberry roan. He bowed his old neck, and I guess he's unwound, for he seemed to quit living down there on the ground. He went up towards the east and come down towards the west. To stay in his middle, I'm sure doing my best. He sure is frog walking, he heaves a big sigh. He only lacks wings to be on the fly. He turns his old belly right up to the sun. He sure is a sunfish and son of a gun. Well, it's oh, that strawberry roan. It's oh, that strawberry roan. They say he's a cayuse that's never been rode. The man that gets on him is bound to be throwed. Get throwed by that strawberry roan. He's about the worst bucker I've seen on the range. He can turn on a nickel and give you the change. And when he's a bucking, he squeals like a shoat. I tell you that pony has sure got my goat. I claims that no foolin' that outlaw can step, but I'm still in his middle and a buildin' a rep. He hits on all fours and he turns on his side. I don't see what keeps him from losing his hide. Well, it's oh, that strawberry roan. It's oh, that strawberry roan. They say he's a cayuse that's never been rode. The man that gets on him is bound to be throwed by that strawberry roan. Well, I loses my stirrup and also my hat. I'm clawing at leather as blind as a bat. With a phenomenal jump, he goes up on high, leaves me sitting on nothing up there in the sky. Well, I turned over and comes back to earth, and I lights into cussin' the day of his birth. And I knows their old ponies are not able to ride. There's some of them left, they haven't all died. Well, it's oh, that strawberry roan. It's oh, that strawberry roan. They say he's a cayuse that's never been rode. The man that gets on him is bound to be throwed by that strawberry roan. I'm a poor lonesome cowboy, a poor lonesome cowboy, a poor lonesome cowboy, and a long way from home. I ain't got no father, I ain't got no father, I ain't got no father to buy me my clothes. I ain't got no mother, I ain't got no mother, I ain't got no mother to mend my clothes. I ain't got no sister, I ain't got no sister, I ain't got no sister to play with me. I ain't got no brother, I ain't got no brother, ain't got no brother to ride along with me. I ain't got no sweetheart, I ain't got no sweetheart to talk with me. When the curtains of night are pinned back by the stars, and the beautiful moon sweeps the sky, I'll remember your love in my prayers. When the curtains of night are pinned back by the stars, and the dewdrops of heaven kiss the rose, I'll remember your love in my prayers. I'm going to leave old Texas now. There's no more use for the longhorn cow. They've plowed and fenced my cattle range, and the people there are all so strange. I'll take my horse, I'll take my rope, I'll hit the trail upon a lope. It's adios to the Alamo. I'll turn my head toward Mexico. I'll make my home on the wide, wide range, for the people there are not so strange. The hard, hard ground shall be my bed, my saddle seat shall hold my head. When I awaken from my dreams, I'll eat my bread and my sardines, and when my job on earth is done, I'll take my chance with the Holy One. I'll tell St. Peter that I know a cowboy's soul ain't white as snow, but in that far off cattle land he sometimes acted like a man.